Что?
Что вы думаете об этом?
Uh, nice to see everyone. It's really a pleasure that you dedicated your Thursday evening to us, to our Product Design Meetup number 8. My name is Slava. I'm from Chili Labs. And today we're going to have amazing evening because we have two great speakers. One is Ligita. She's from Chili Labs. She's UI UX designer. And second, we have Jesus Gonzalez, who is from Shortcut Norway. He's a tech design lead, and they have two great topics that they're gonna share today. Who is the first time on our event? Can you raise your hands? Oh, wow, so many people. How did you learn about us? What worked? Tell us. Eventbrite. All right, great. So I hope you enjoy it. We really welcome you here. And in case you have any feedback, please let us know how to make it better, how to improve it. So really, welcome here. All right. So let's talk a bit why we are here, why we're doing this. First of all, we would like to share knowledge, and we would like to create a great design community of like-minded people. We like to create great products, and we would like to surround ourselves with like-minded and make things better, make apps better, designs better. And this is why we actually do it. So if you have some topics or you would like to share some knowledge, reach out to us and we will make it happen so that it will be you next time who can give a speech here. My favorite slide, Chili Labs. Chili Labs, we are doing an app development for more than 7 years. We are 40 plus people right now, and we are doing mobile app development for iOS, Android, Flutter. Sometimes we do backend and web, and also we do great design. Very thoughtful and product-oriented. That's why the idea of making this meetup happened. So we are not just doing the apps, but we also grow as a company. And currently, we are looking for two great positions. First is a mobile developer. It can be Android, iOS, or Flutter. Or, it can be a mix of that. And we are looking for senior Android developer. So if you know someone, or you are senior Android or mobile developer, let us know. And make sure that you send this image to your friends. Maybe they're looking for a dream company, and we're looking for a dream colleague to join us. All right? So everybody took a chance to make a photo? Haven't seen any flashes. Are you engaged? All right. Okay, just a couple of seconds more. And let's talk about the agenda, what we're gonna do today. So first, we are having a talk from Ligita about visual hierarchy. Why do we need it at all? Then we will have short Q&A session with hopefully great questions and amazing answers. Then we're gonna have a brief coffee break so we can chat, so you can have a drink or two, get some food, talk, and then we're gonna have a second speaker who will tell us about designing the future of tech trends of 2023 and maybe 2024. All right, and then don't leave out early. We have a networking event. After all, it's a networking meetup. That's why we will have 40 more minutes where we can chat, have a drink together, talk, get to know each other better. And that's basically it. All right. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Ligita. The floor is yours.
Hi, my name is Ligita, and today I'm going to be speaking about visual hierarchy and actually why we need it. But before dive into this topic, I want to also introduce with myself. I am designer, and I started my design journey from a university where I get my bachelor degree in graphic design field. After that, I started working in a startup where I gained skills in this type of thing that you have to work alone in a business and have to also manage this thing between business and design. And the second job was a totally different field. It was banking, which gave me also a really nice experience in this field. And currently, I'm working in a Chile labs as user experience and user interface designer. And I have an amazing team, which you also can meet here. I'm happy and glad you are here. And between my daily life and job, I also do some sports, as you can see in these pictures. And this is what inspires me to do a better design and do more interesting in design. And today's topic is visual hierarchy, as I told you. And today we will discuss why we need it and why it is important. And actually why I choose this topic. During my experience, I found that this is the most important part of the design of user interface design, and you cannot start your design without this part. And this is one of these most important blocks of the design. And what it is, visual hierarchy? A visual hierarchy is the order in which the user processes information by the importance. In interface design, like in other forms of design, this concept is necessary to be functional at sight. Okay, I can read you all the Wikipedia about this, and you will not understand at all what does it mean, and maybe you will not find in the end of the presentation what it is about. So maybe you just remember your school time, and maybe you just remember maybe your college time or university, and you had the notes. And when you just wrote something from what teacher said, or maybe what just came in your mind, you just wrote it in the notes, and maybe grab a marker and mention it with the other color. So there started your visual hierarchy journey. So you just did it because you wanted to understand your notes in the future when you open these notes. And this is what we will gonna be talking about today. And I want you to understand it better. So here's the example of the web, how it works from a website. Now you can see the product page, where is a really big title, and this title like screaming at you, and your focus is on this title. And this is the first thing which you see in this screen. This is what wanted to do Apple, to see what product is it, in which page you are. The second thing which you will see in this page is these buttons, like buy or learn more, but buy button is much more bigger and much more brighter. So you would first will see it. And only in the third, you will see the menu of the products. And for example, if you do not want to buy AirPods, but you will still be in this page, because maybe they are just suggesting you to maybe find another options. Maybe you need iPod Max. And if you are not needed in iPod Max, they are just showing you should use menu and maybe buy an iPhone. And you still stay in this page. And maybe you will buy something you need or maybe don't need. This is how it works in the web. And now we will talk about the main things in visual hierarchy. It's size, color, alignment, proximity, repetition, negative space, and typography. And I will tell you about each of it and why we actually need it. The first one will be size. You can see here, I will call it bubbles, and which one of these is grabs your attention much more? Yeah, actually, I guess the bigger one, because it's the bigger. And here, how it works, visual hierarchy. Our eyes are catching the biggest elements on the screen, on the telephone, on the phone, sorry. And only after that, they are catching the smallest one, because they are like secondary things. But here is also example. Maybe you see difference of these bubbles. Left one is
because the screen is page left and after that.
yeah, but the main thing was in this screen, like this right one is a bit smaller, but only 20 pixels. But usual user cannot see it. And if you will make these elements in your design similar sizes and maybe just switch maybe 5 pixels or 6 pixels, user will not see it. So you have to mention the most important element with the bigger, and after that only smaller one. So user can obviously like understand what you want from them. And there are examples what I want you to show. This is just only examples, not the best apps. This is the only I wanted to show you. In the first screen, you see that they are using a big image because they wanted you to show the main thing on this screen. Like they wanting you to show what you can see, for example, in this TV Plus. And in the second one, they with a big text mentioned that you should get appointment reminder, and user will easily understand what they want from you. If this text will be much more smaller, you will need to read all this below description. And the third example is Spotify. Actually, you understand in which musician page you are, because this title is really big, and also you will not miss this play button, because it's the most important thing in this app. And the example from the web, MailChimp, they are just describing that MailChimp gets it done. They just want you to know that you have to trust them, and that's all. And this is how it works, actually. The next block will be color. Maybe you can tell me which one takes more traction of this. Yeah, I guess so, yeah. The brightest one, of course, takes your attention a lot more. And our eyes are working like that, so you first mentioned the brightest color, and after that only more calm and more lightest one. And what about these ones, bubbles? Yeah, here it's a bit tricky because your eyes do not understand which one is more brighter, and here contrast play the role, so they are looking totally the same. And there is the thing why you should not use in a design, in a one page, a lot of colors. So user will not understand what you want from them to read at the first and the second if you will use a lot of colors. And maybe user will miss something important. And this is when you are trying to put a lot of colors in one design. And here are the examples. In the first screen, you totally will see the first button, agree, because it's the main thing on this screen, and you should press it. Only after that you will see the not now button, because it's the secondary one and it's not that bright. And in the second example, Airbnb just wanted you to reserve this apartment. This is the most important and primary thing in this screen. So this button like screaming at you. And in the third one is the same as in Airbnb. They just want you to book event and go through the next steps. And here is an example of the web, where they are using a lot of colors, but this get started for free button is much more colorful and brighter than the other colors, so you will see it at first. And the next block is alignment. There are two groups of bubbles, and which one you just like feel that they are looking better? Yeah, I guess the alignment one, because here you really do not understand if they are related or is it a one group or not. Maybe in the first example you see that it's a two columns and they are related to each other. But in the second one you do not understand fully. And as you can see in example, in the first one, from the left side is the information about your sport, and from the right side there is icon about this sport, and user can easily read this information because it's aligned. If it's not going to be aligned, for user it will be hard to read it and understand it. In a second screen you can see the store shop. It's from the left side they have shop logos, and from the right side the name of the shop. And here is the same, so he can go through these stores and found what he wanted. And the third one is, as usually you use some shopping app, here the same, so you understand that here is under the picture the information about this product, and your eyes are catching this all information one by one. And example from the web. Here is also horizontal alignment, where you can see all the logos, and your eyes are catching like it's a one part or with whom they are working. And here you can see a bad example. It was election in Florida, where actually people was confused about where to press and where to press this vote. So they was confused, and by accident they was voting for Pat Buchanan instead of George Bush. And accidentally a lot of people voted for Pat Buchanan, but they wanted to see these lines are going to this round, and they thought that it is related to George Bush. And the next block is proximity. In other words, how to place elements close to each other and why it is important. Here you also can see two examples. In the first one example, you obviously can see that they are related to each other. And in the second one, it's hard to tell if it is one thing or just one card or not. And here's also example why you should not place elements too close to each other. It will be also hard for user to understand it and read it. If it will be like in a one row or in a one line, he will miss some information or just swipe to the next app or something. And here is examples. First example is IKEA shop. And here you can see the table name, and below it, it's about this table. So you understand that this information is related to this desk, and you can easily understand what does it mean. In the second example, there are a lot of plants, and because these plants are separated and information in this card is placed close to each other, you understand that there is 3 plants and you have to choose one of them. And the third example is about the sport app, where you also can read information about your activities and understand that this information is related to your movings, and read all information one by one because it's in one card and it's close to each other. And here is example of the web, where you understand that this title is related to this description because they are close to each other. And next block is repetition. I guess it's hard to say if these elements are like in one card. And here you totally understand that they are in one part and they are related to each other. Here, your eyes just thinks why they are so different, and you do not understand why there is a lot of the colors. And the same users perceive the information from a website and also from apps. They really like when you repeat something, and it's much easier for them if you repeat some card or maybe button. For them, it's much more easier to understand and go through this app. And here is the examples of shopping app, where you can just view the image of the app, and below it you just read the information about it. And these cards are looking the same, so user will go through it easily. And the second example is exchange screen, where you press enter just the amount, and the next card is looking totally the same, so user will press in the next card and understand what to do in the next card because they already did it in the first one. And the third example is about renting a flat. So from the left side, they just go through the images, and from the right side, they just see the price. This is the most important things they want from rent. And they just go through these cards and can find everything they want. If this information will be not structured and will be like chaotically placed here, it will be hard for user to understand it. And here is example where company wanted to show about themselves, and you easily go through these titles and understand what they are doing. Negative space and the white space. Is it hard for you to understand which one of these elements is better to understand? Obviously, maybe the first one, it's much more easier because it's alone. And the second one, it's harder to understand which is the primary one and which is the secondary because they are looking the same. And here, why negative space is important? Because you should show your user what is the most important thing in the screen. And if you will put a lot of elements in one screen, it will be hard for them to perceive this information and understand it, actually. And first example, they just want you to enter the phone number. So there is not a lot of information in this screen, because you have to just put a phone number, and that's it on this screen. The second one screen, they just wanted you to enter first name, last name, and go next. That's it. And third one, they are just showing you a big image, so you just need to go through this image and just wanted to go to this class or go to this event. So you are just paying attention more to this image, and only that show dates. And example from the web, where with a big title they are just showing you what they are doing or what they want from you. And there is not a lot of elements in this screen, so you understand what it is about. And the last one block is typography. And which one of these is more easier to read? Yeah, I guess the left one, yeah. Because in this example, you can see that the title here are bold, and also text is much more smaller, and the title is in the other color. So you can understand with your eyes that this is the primary thing, title, and the secondary is description text. In the second example, it's hard to understand which is primary here, and also hard to read this description text because it's close to each other and hard to understand what does it mean. And here is example. The first one is they just wanted you to agree, to greet you, and they're just saying hey, and below that is description text, which maybe none of you read, and just go through these next steps. The second example, they are with the big title, are showing you in which tab you are. So in this screen, you obviously see that it is in radio. And the last one, they, with a big title, just showing what they are doing and what they want from you. And only after that, they are just give you the small description of it. And the example from the web, also with a big title, just show about themselves, and only after that, with a small description text, showing a bit more. And here is exercise for you to maybe train your visual hierarchy skills. Maybe you can tell me what should be improved in these screens. Spacing. Yeah, that's right. What else, maybe? Yeah, totally. In the first one example, you can see that there is a small spacing between title and description text, and also a problem with the alignment in the card. And in the second example, elements are not aligned, and it's hard to perceive the information from this screen. And maybe you can tell me here what should be improved here.
In the right, I will make the bottom with the bright color.
Mm-hmm.
Our main goals. And in the left, I may be less element because a lot of people move. And in first screen, between line, we should add air.
Mm-hmm.
This messaging with people also little, a lot of elements.
Yeah. In the first screen, there is a lot of elements, and it's hard to understand what they want from you, and user will just be confused what they need to do in this screen. And yeah, and actually in the second screen, the text is not aligned, and it's hard to understand this all information from this. And the last one, maybe you can tell what we should improve in these screens.
Bottom. Both of the screens bottom absent. Totally.
Yeah. This title actually is also looking a bit strange, and you do not understand if it is related to these numbers or it's not. And in the next screen, these elements are too close to each other, so it's hard to read them and go through this screen. And the last one.
There are so many problems. I can't even
Yeah.
know what to begin.
In the first one, I guess there is too much of colors, and it's hard to attract attention to the one thing. And in the second one is alignment, obviously, and also text is going to the picture, yeah, and it's hard to read it. And in the conclusions, I want you to remember that size, user notice larger elements more easily. Color, bright colors typically attract more attention than muted ones. Alignment, out of the alignment elements stand out over the aligned ones. Proximity, closed placed elements seems related. Repetition, repeating styles can suggest content is related. Negative space, more space around elements draws the eye towards them. Typography, use the best font, color, and contrast to present few levels of text. And I hope you get some information. After that, you will not do such a design like this. Thank you so much. And I'd be glad to answer to your questions.
So any questions?
Can you bring back the slide with the website of for 96?
It's a usual US site. I know a lot of different sites. I will compare between our site, between Latam market site, because in Brazilian market it's a very beautiful, perfect. But when you come to US site, it's the same, and they like this site. And usually his IT solutions the same. And when they see our solutions, they amazing, because it's normal for them. For them.
They just wanted to make it simpler.
Yeah.
All right. Do we have any more questions? All right, then.
I have a tiny one.
Oh, sorry.
Yep.
For
Yeah.
all the examples you're showing, I'm fine.
We need it for YouTube. We are recording it. That's why we
sorry,
need it
okay.
for YouTube.
I just wanted to know if all the examples you were showing, are they from real life apps and
They are
websites, or they just made up?
these all apps are real.
All
Yeah.
of them, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also the
Also
bad
the-
ones. Yeah.
Ah, yeah? Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I wanted to know. Thank you.
Maybe more questions? We have also small gift for question.
If you have a really good question.
Okay, no gift.
I guess that's it. Thank you, Ligita, again.
Thank you.
Was it great? All right. Now we're going to have a small break to enjoy. We will have 10 to 15 minutes. And yeah, see you back again for one more topic.
Ты хочешь поговорить?
Okay, so okay, now I got your attention. That's great. So it's interesting that everybody is so energetic, and I really enjoy that you had really networking happening over there. But we have very, very exciting new speaker, Jesus Gonzalez. From Shortcut, he will tell us more about designing the future. The floor is yours. Thank you.
Hello, everyone, and thank you. I would like to welcome you to this presentation. First of all, I would like to thank Chile Labs for inviting me. I'm glad to be here. This is my first time in Latvia, so it's really nice, really cool place. I'm sorry my voice is very bad, but yeah, I'm trying. Just keep up with me. Yeah, so this presentation is gonna be, I'm gonna talk a lot of topics, so just bear with me. I'm gonna go very, very fast through them, and then if you have some questions, we can just go at the very end. We can just come back and discuss about them, right? So I hope you are ready to have your mind blown, because I'm gonna talk a lot of really, really cool stuff. And yeah, let's buckle up and see what's the future. So this is the agenda. I know this is very boring, but I like to give you like a general overview of the things I'm going to talk about. This is like against storytelling principles, but still, I like to do it. So I'm going to give you an introduction about myself. You've heard, probably you have read something about me. Some trends from UX, UI, standard design, AI, of course, metaverse, and XR, and the future. So let's get to that. I'm going to talk about myself. So who the hell I am? Why am I here? So this is not a presentation about me, but yeah, it's going to be short. But I have 20 years experience working as a designer. And throughout my career, I have worked in different design fields. So I've been working as an industrial designer for 8 years, designing furniture, kitchen appliances, and even technological gadgets. And simultaneously, I was working as a graphic designer, creating, printed material like brochures, catalogs, and that printed stuff that nobody uses anymore. And then after that, I decided to go into the interaction design field. And the transition was kind of smooth because, I don't know if you're designers, but the design process, it's very similar. So through all these different fields, it's almost the same steps. So it was kind of natural to jump to another design field. And lately, I've been specializing myself in XR. So for the ones who don't know what XR stands for, it's extended reality. So the past 2 years, I've been doing a lot of courses, taking master courses about this. So this is not bragging about myself, but I just want to show you, or you can understand why I'm talking about this. So this helped me to have like a holistic approach when it comes to products, digital products or whatever. But it's like, have a different mindset when I face a problem. So I need to find a solution in a different way, different tools, different approaches. So now we're going to start with the UX and UI. This is like the most exciting stuff, probably. It's visual. So I'm going to talk about this. It's taking some time. Hopefully it loads fast. Let me try the next one so I can come back. It's weird because I can see it here. Technical issues. Gonna try to reload. Okay. So, okay, so yeah, something disappeared here, but your motion design and scrollytelling. So this is nothing new. So this is a trend that it's coming from the last year. And actually the maximum exponent about this trend is Apple. So if you go to Apple, you will see a lot of stuff like this. So actually scrollytelling is like the next evolution of the parallax effect. So when you're scrolling, you are looking at something new, like some content is coming. And of course, motion design, animations, and a lot of different things happening at the same time. So this is, as I told you, nothing new, but still going on, and it's evolving. And that's really cool. I like it. That doesn't mean it's good, but many, many companies are doing this. So they follow, so yeah, Apple creates like a trend, and everyone follows. So it's, yeah. It's always like this. Not sure why it's not loading. I think the Wi-Fi is not working, or I'm just gonna do it again. Is it? Yeah, it's not working.
We'll try to switch to hotspot and be back.
Now it's gone. All the
What are we going to extend?
so it's AirPlay just it's disconnected.
Because you're not in the same network.
Yeah. It's not connecting to the Wi-Fi. It's a problem.
The screen mirroring is working on the same Wi-Fi. And we cannot turn off this hotspot.
Maybe we can turn it off and turn it on. The most given advice.
Okay, now it's connected.
Let's hope.
Okay, now it's there. Then.
While we are having technical calls, you can use it.
No, I don't know. So here's it disappeared. So if you can open it again, I think it's a it's Safari.
As well. Put some comments.
Perfect. I think now it's.
Is it working?
I think so. No.
No.
Is it working the presentation now?
Just let me close it or refresh it. Now it's working.
Yeah, because it was showing this screen before as well.
Yeah, and now it's working. In Safari, I think that's the one. Or I can try this one. Just click on Safari. Yeah, I can just continue. I had a speaker notes, but it's okay. I can just take it. Yeah.
Well, let's check if it's working on the next slide. Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
With a delay, but
It's okay. Yeah.
all right, we got it back.
Okay. So now it's working. Sorry about the technical issues, but now. So the next trend is like 3D model interaction in real time. So this is really cool as well. We have many tools called like Spline and Vectory. Probably you have seen them if you use your social media. This is everywhere nowadays. So the cool thing about this is that you can embed a 3D model and the end users can interact with all this. The model has like animations, colors, or whatever you want to implement within the model, and then you can play with that on the web. So this is really cool and super easy to implement. And then if you are not into 3D modeling, if you go and check those tools, it's super straightforward. It's very simple. You can do very simple volumes and figures, and you can create like really cool content. So if you haven't tried it, do it. I highly recommend it. It's really cool. So in this case, for example, you can see like different colors, different materials, and as I told you, it's very easy to implement, and even it's for free. So not bad actually. The next one, this is more UI, but it's modern minimalism. So this is something related to what Ligita was talking about. It's the use of negative space, and of course, like using like a very limited color palette, like 3 colors, 3 tones at least. And you can see this is very used in like fashion sites. So I like it. As I told you, it doesn't mean it's good, but if I like it, but it looks nice. It's clean, so many people like this. Emotional design. So this is more deeper. We're digging deeper. So in this case, this is based on the Don Norman the 3 levels of design. So actually, to be able to achieve like the utopic design, we need to cover these 3 levels, which is the visceral design, the behavioral design, and the reflective design. So for example, the visceral design is the things that we see, the first things we see when when the users interact with a product, digital product or whatever. So it's like they like it or not at the first glance. Then the behavioral, it's like, is it easy to use or not? And if it's easy to use, will they use it again? And then reflective is like, okay, I liked it. I might use it again, and then I can spread the word to some other users so they can come. So if you manage to cover all these levels, you will create like an empathetic design, which sounds very easy, but it's very difficult. And then it's like many designers claim to, oh, I'm very empathetic. Bullshit. No, not true. It's very difficult. It's very challenging. But if you know how to do it, it's not that difficult actually. But this is something that many designers are dealing with right now. Another one, which is like hyper-personalization. So this is quite difficult to explain, but I think with these 2 brands, you will understand it immediately. So for example, Netflix is really good at this. It means that all the decisions or all the content that you see, it's data-driven. That means that they know your data, and they will present you what you want, actually. But it doesn't mean it's going to be the same as other user, which is looking at the same content. It will not be the same. So, for example, probably, if you watch Netflix, which I assure you do, it's, for example, you will get like different color backgrounds or different background images, but it's going to be the same movie, and sometimes it changes. But it behaves accordingly to the content you've watched before. It's very strange, but it works like this. And the same case with Amazon. So all the content that it's displayed there, it's based on your previous decisions. And it's not the same for all the users. So it's very data-driven. It's scary as hell, but yeah, this is happening. voice user interface and voice search. This is very, very cool and scary as well. I need to tell you an anecdote that happened to me like a couple of months ago. So actually, I'm from Mexico, and I have a niece in Mexico. She's 12 years old, and actually, I was texting with her, but it was super strange because she was replying immediately with perfect orthography, and I was like, what? I kept going, and then suddenly I called her because this is not my niece. What the hell? And it's me. What are you doing? I'm just dictating. Okay. So dictation, it's been around for many, many years, but now it's amazing. If you haven't used it, I highly recommend it. You just talk and everything goes there. And we are not even talking about AI, so we're gonna get there. But this is amazing. So usually this is used for accessibility stuff, but we're gonna get there. Google Assistant, yeah. So this is a next topic, which is standard design. This is very, very complex as well, but probably you will understand. So we always talk about inclusive design, accessible design, universal design, but what the hell is this? It's like some people understand something, other people understand something else. But the thing is that these are three different things. So we have like the inclusive design, which is a solution that works only for a small group that can be expanded to another group, right? But it doesn't mean it works for them. We have accessible design, which is focused on people with disabilities, and at the same time, it doesn't mean it works for everyone. And then we have universal design, which is something that works for everyone, but it doesn't mean it's good for everyone. It's very, very difficult to find a sweet spot. If you do it, boom, you nailed it. But it's almost impossible. It's like a utopian solution. And if you do it, it's very expensive. Design is expensive. So this is happening. I don't know. I'm not very familiar with the EU regulations right now. But in Norway, by the end of 2025, all the design digital products must be compliant with accessibility at least. So they will get fines. Probably it's the same here in the EU. Right? So this is something that everyone is very worried about. And that's good for us because that's work for us. So we need to fix it somehow, right? Sustainable design, this is like a honorable mention. I mean, this is a no-brainer. So many companies are focusing on this. So we have like different goals, of course. But I think the ones that are like, or like the companies are focusing on is like the sustainable consumption. It's like, less waste, use less energy. But I mean, this is a no-brainer. This is happening. And by the end of, I think it's just like United Nations Agenda 2030. It will be good to cover all these goals. And for those who doesn't know what's the goal, it's like the future generations will not suffer with our decisions, right? So it's like we need to create good stuff for the incoming generations, our grandchildren or whatever. AI, yay! Everyone knows about AI, specifically generative AI. And if you haven't, you are falling behind, definitely. So this is very interesting. I'm going to show you some examples of what we have been doing at Shortcut, the company I work for. And this is just like a workflow we used to have. So we have these sessions where all the design team gathers and try to come with some crazy concepts. So this is very basic. So everyone has heard about ChatGPT, of course, Midjourney. So this is very, very simple tools. But the main goal is to create a concept in the less amount of time possible, right? So it's like we define a topic. With ChatGPT, we generate the outline and the structure of the concept. With Midjourney, we generate visual assets. Then with Photoshop, Illustrator, we tweak them if needed, of course. And then with Figma, we put everything together. So I'm going to show you one example, very weird example, but it was cool. So it was like we were at the meeting room, and it's like, okay, let's come up with a topic. Oh, horse riding. Okay. you tell me a color. Oh, yellow. You tell me another one. Lime. Super random stuff. And then with ChatGPT, we created like the outline for the website. So we wanted to create a website for promoting an app about horse riding. So we generate all the content. Mid-journey for the logo. It doesn't make sense at all, but yeah. Even the screens, they suck, but still you get like an idea. Oh, okay, this is horse riding. And then, of course, we put everything together, and this is like the result. So is it in Norwegian? No, it's in English. So it's like, oh, Vidar i det klubb, your guide to horse riding in Norway. But you know the funny thing, or the good thing about this, it takes us 10 minutes to do this, right? So we were a team of 7 designers. In 10 minutes, we came up with this. So if you want to validate an idea or a concept, you can do it. So, you know, AI really helps. So if you're not using it, please do. I highly recommend it. So you can discard or continue further with your ideas. I'm gonna show you another examples. So this, I gave a brief to my team. So the brief is, I hate my neighbor because of this reason, and I will make an app in order to avoid the situation. So same process. In less than 10 minutes, we need to come with a brochure to promote an app, right? So these are 3 different examples. So the watching owl, so it's like you're tired to discuss with your neighbor. In person, do it with an app. The second one, same story, but it's just send messages like, please, shut up. And the third one is like someone smoking pot. It's like, come on, dude, stop. Don't do it. Messages as well, right? But it's like funny exercises, but you know, the idea is to use the tools we have. And I mean, we did this with the free versions. We are not paying for the plus, blah, blah, blah. So we nailed it. We are nailing it. So please, I highly do it. You will see the results, definitely. This is another example. So this is for a clothing Norwegian brand. And what I want to show you, this is not a picture. This is what's generated with Midjourney. So these pictures, these images that I'm going to show you, were used to make a presentation for the higher executives of the brand. And they were like, mind blown. So, and it took us less than a minute to create every image. Of course, before that, we spent like 20 minutes creating the prompt, but once we got it, images came like by magic. So here you can see, so the app, the concept is, you know, like a rescue app. So when you're hiking or something, you need help, they can save you. So it's like with this, I mean, we don't have the money to go and take pictures and like a rescue brigade. So it's like, okay, let's do it. Quite decent, actually. I mean, it's nice. And then I'm going to show you like the real deal. These pictures are from the official photographer from the company, which is, these are not bad, but you know, they not communicate what we wanted to show, right? It's like a critical situation. Someone is almost dying, they need help, but still it's like, pictures, right? We needed something more dramatic. So we did something like this, right? But you know, it took us less than a minute. It was like, and we got this, right? So, you know, the people looking at this at the presentation, they were like, damn, we want this app. And we haven't shown any app at all. It's just the concept, right? And then you see the difference. It's not a picture, but still it's like, it gives like the feeling of something's wrong and you need to do something, or cinematic effect or whatever. So it looks cool, definitely. And there's another tool. Probably some of you will know it. It's Roundway. So it's like image to video generation. It's image to video to video, and text to video. So you can just put an image, text whatever, and then you will get a video. So these small animations were created with the pictures I just showed you, right? It's like, you know, it's to explain the concept. You're alone in the wild, walking, and then suddenly a rock falls in your head and you almost die or whatever, and you need an app. Someone will recover you. So that's the concept, right? But it's when you try to explain this with words, it's difficult. They say that a picture talks more than 1,000 words. A video talks more than 1,000 pictures, definitely, right? Probably you've seen this. It's like, yeah, oh no, AI will take over my work. No, definitely not. If you start using these tools, AI will do your job. So that's good. Oh, and this is just, I mean, you don't have to see this, but it's like 100 different AI tools. And this was like 2 months ago. So every week, something new comes up. It's based on something that's already developed, but still, the pace is crazy. It's amazing. Every day I read something new. It's like, oh, come on, something new again. But it's difficult to keep up the pace, but it's worth it. So social media, it's flooded with all this stuff, especially LinkedIn. So have a look and see what's happening over there. So this is a quote from one of my colleagues. So it's like, yeah, it is what it is. So just learn and adapt. If you haven't done it, please start doing it. Let's embrace the change, because this is going to be like something natural. We need to cope. So it's like, yeah, we will need to do it. The metaverse. So the metaverse, that's interesting. When we talk about the metaverse, like some people imagine this kind of stuff. Oh, the world's crazy stuff. Then other people imagine this. So I mean, this is true. It's like the thing is that there's a huge misunderstanding because Facebook decided to change their name to Meta, and then they were clever, but it was not successful at all. But the thing is that in reality, the metaverse is not dead. It hasn't even started yet because we're not there yet. I mean, let me show you. This is the state of union of the metaverse right now. So you can see all these different platforms or applications are considered part of the metaverse. Each one of them, it's like a proto-metaverse, like a small metaverse. But if you do the math, it's like almost 50 million people. It's not a big number, but still 50 million. If you compare it to the global population, it's a really, really big number. And then if you see, for example, Web 2, it's falling apart. Web 3, it's like gaining more space. Decentralized, sites, money, whatever. Here, this is like more like information. How would I say? Like real information. According to Gartner, this is the metaverse right now. So what you see in the yellow circle is like what's happening now or the next year. But in reality, to get to the real thing will take us at least 10 years. So we're getting there. It's something that's evolving. So definitely it's not dying, but it's there. So this is a meme. This is very, very cool. It's like the cool thing about the metaverse is that anyone can be part of it. So if you are into 3D modeling, you will be a metaverse architect. If you are like a seller, you will be a metaverse seller or whatever. So it's like you can be there. That's the good thing about it. And actually, if you think about it, you are already there in the metaverse. Using social media, everything is connected. But what's missing? This is the most important part. So I don't know if you have watched a movie which is called Ready Player One. So it's like the metaverse. But the thing is that they have this place in common called the Oasis. So it's like you go there and then you go to other parts. So it's connected somehow. This is the part that it's missing. So as I showed you before the State of Union, there's a lot of platforms, but there's nothing in common. So this is what it's missing. And then there are some tools, some platforms, apps that are trying to do this. There's a concept called persona. It's like a philosophical concept or religious. I don't want to dig into that, but it's like you have a persona that has many identities. So let's say if we talk about religious stuff, it's like God Father, God Son, and the Holy Spirit, but it's the same thing. So this is the case, right? There's one company trying to do something like that. So you have an avatar, which is like your persona, but then you have different proto-metaverses or metaverses where you can use this avatar. So it's connected somehow. It's starting. We're not there yet, but we're going to get there eventually, definitely. So this is a starting point. So you can use your same persona with different identities in different places. the same goes with NFTs and cryptocurrencies. So it's like everything is going to be decentralized, so you will be able to do a lot of stuff in different places with your same identity, let's call. So the metaverse is the next evolution of the internet. So it's happening now, as I told you. Meta had a presentation yesterday, so they're pushing a lot of the usage of AI, and of course extended reality devices. So this is the next step. So XR technologies. As I told you at the beginning, XR stands for extended reality. And extended reality is like an umbrella term to cover different types of realities or concepts, which are the virtual reality, mixed reality, and augmented reality. This is a mess, but I will try to explain it a little bit. It's very straightforward, but still, it's confusing. Virtual reality is the most immersive one. So you put the visor or the headset, so you are like fully immersed, you don't see anything. Then you have augmented reality, you still need a device, like your phones. And then there are some headsets, I will get into there, but just wait a little bit. And mixed reality, which you can see augmented reality objects that are fused with the physical world, like virtual projects fused with the physical world. But this has changed a lot. But yeah, some examples. Virtual reality, you have the MetaQuest or Pico, a lot of devices. You have different stores, you can buy apps, but this is an example. Games, they're used mostly for games. So you're fully immersed, you're in your world, and you're doing stuff, right? You have augmented reality. I think this is the most common example. It's the easiest way to explain it. Face filters, Instagram, in Snapchat, whatever. So actually, this is the most used in the world. A lot of users of augmented reality, and probably we didn't think about it. Yeah, a lot. And mixed reality. So this is, as I told you, is the combination of the physical world with the virtual world. So this is an example of the Wi-Fi intensity. So if you can check the bars, which is like, I mean, this is just an example, right? But it's like you can interact with the real world in a different way. Meta call it pass-through, but then Apple came with the spatial computing. This is good, but this is mixed reality. This is the clearest example of mixed reality. I haven't tested it yet. Probably not many people have. But this is just the best example of mixed reality. We'll see how it goes. But it's evolving. It's evolving. And I'm going to show you like a small summary. So this was like a couple of months ago. VR, AR, and MR. 3 different things. But now it's like AR and MR are like mixed. It's almost the same. They call it pass-through. Others call it spatial computing. But it's almost the same. Very, very nerd and techie stuff. But it's happening right now. So this is one tool I use almost every day, which is called Bezel. So with this, it's you can create, like, if you have a 3D model, you can just put it in this application. You can tweak it, you can add whatever you want, and then when it's ready, you just play, and you can put your headset and navigate around. So this is really cool, very easy to use. So for prototyping, for the prototyping phase of extended reality designs, I highly recommend using this tool. And there's another one called Shapes XR, which is the same, but the other way around. You put the headset and you do everything inside. But if you're not used to the headset, after 20 minutes, it's like you get tired. It's like, it's impossible. And it's not that intuitive because you are used to the mouse, drag and drop, and scale, resize, whatever. And here it's completely different gestures that you have to do like that. And it's very tiring. People love it, people hate it. It depends. I prefer the other one, but it's up to different people. It's a different, same results, different methods. In the future. I always do an exercise when I have to solve a problem. So it's like, I always think about dystopian futures, problems in dystopian futures. And once you try to solve those problems, you will come up with solutions for utopian presents. Does that make sense? So you think the worst of the worst, you solve it, and then it will be like a kick-ass solution for the present. Sometimes it's expensive, sometimes it's like easy peasy, but that's a good exercise. I highly recommend doing it. And then I'm gonna give you a reflection. So the emerging technologies are just like an ocean wave. Waves are constantly forming, gathering strength, and crashing onto the shore, leaving an impact. But we should not just watch. So let's embrace the change and surf the wave, right? This is my recommendation. And last but not least, these are my words of advice. Whenever you need to do something new, when you need to create something new, use imagination as a destination. Thank you.
That's breathtaking. That's
If you want to reach out, please.
Yes. Let's use this time to ask questions. Yes, we have a couple of questions already.
Thank you for your presentation. It was amazing.
Thank you.
And in your opinion, what do you think during the next 5 years or in general, will the AI replace the whole designers? What do you think?
Probably for the, it's a very, very good question. The thing is that nowadays, for example, in my team, all the designers are using AI tools, right? So for the most basic stuff, wireframes, it's like, boom, you get it in less than a minute.
I get it.
So now AI is replacing a part of our job, right? But I think the human touch, the human feeling will not be replaced, right? So there has to be someone who decides and validates, even if it's AI generated or not. It's like, this is good, this is not. So it will be replaced somehow, but not 100%. That's my point of view, right?
Yeah, actually I agree with that, and I think that for now it's not replaced, but more like optimization.
Yeah. As I told you before, it's like something that will become like somehow natural. It's like, you do it. It's now, before you use the pencil and the ruler to make straight lines, now you will use AI.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Yeah, one more question over there.
Yeah, as a previous speaker, thank you so much for your presentation.
You're welcome.
What would you advise to your younger and less experienced self, let's say whatever time ago, when like top 3 to 5 things when creating prompts, when using AI?
Yeah. This is good because actually when I'm creating a prompt, I think about myself 20 years ago. It's like, because as I told you before, I'm an industrial designer, so it's like when I wanted to create a 3D model and a render, you had to put all the specifications. And it's like, I have to go back to the basis and do it again, but just writing, right? It's very, very difficult. But that's a very good question. I don't know. It's like keep learning. That's the thing. That's what I do actually. But I would tell myself, keep learning, keep learning. That's what my answer. Yeah.
All right. Any more questions? Yes. Please, over there. Yeah, you're the next one. Yeah.
This is touching upon the mixed reality question. You probably remember around 10 years ago there was Google Glass, right?
Yeah.
And it flopped.
Yeah.
There were probably multiple reasons, but one of the reasons, as far as I remember, was people basically weren't ready for such a gadget, right?
Yes, yes.
Would you say that now, 10 years gone from that, people and the newer generation are more like, I don't know, tech integrated and are more like accepting?
You know what I told you at the beginning, right? It's Apple creates trends, right? So when the Vision Pro comes up, I will be able to respond to that question. But I think it's expensive as hell. But then what Apple did is to put the pieces on the table, and there's like more market. There's going to be a war of devices, blah blah blah. And then, as I told the others, it's like it will become somehow natural. And it's like, he has a headset. Okay.
But I think in the presentation the Zach making, he was also talking about the mixed reality and basically
Yeah.
integrating it, right?
Yeah, I mean, they presented the Ray-Ban mixed reality glasses. I don't know, I'm not a big fan, but it's like, you know, another way to reach other target groups. It's like people who is not interested in buying the whole huge stuff. You just buy glasses and like the Snapchat ones, which people hate and love. But I think, as I told you, as I show you in the chart, it will take us 10 years at least. We're not there yet, but we're getting there.
10 years have passed from that moment.
Yeah, yeah.
We still have to.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
I had one more question there.
Thank you for the presentation.
Yeah.
It was great.
You're welcome.
My question is going backwards to the hyper personalization.
Yeah.
That bit. You were talking about Netflix and how they base their offer on data. And I know that Google does that as well.
Everyone
Yeah,
does.
and many of them in the market, of course. But aren't they forcing kind of their user into some certain like box of choices? And then you just end up with what you had previously, just because you already you know had to make previous choice.
Yeah,
And
it's a
it's-
very black design patterns, but yeah, it's everyone is doing it. And then the thing is that, for example, when you accept you know, terms and conditions that you don't read, it's like when you click accept, you are screwed, right? So yeah, it's as I told you, it's scary, but yeah, everyone does it. Google, Facebook, of course, as a
I'm just wondering that they are not providing the choice for
yeah,
users, and
no, that's true. That's
probably it's not actually what they really wanted to watch
true. Yeah.
or read.
Yeah, you know, it's not what you want. It's not like suggestions about new content. Yeah, it's about new content, but it's like the way you see these suggestions. It's like I don't know if you saw a cartoon, and now you're scrolling in normal pictures, movies. You will get like a thumbnail of a movie with some cartoonish effect. This is the way it works. It's crazy. It's
Well, from my perspective, now I'm forced just to watch comedies, just because I previously chose them, and it's like, you know, no choice at all.
yeah, the algorithm. It's like, yeah, even for example with social media, it's like if you by mistake open something that, then you will get a lot of shit. Sorry, it's like, yeah, it is how it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for response.
Welcome.
Thank you.
All right. Anyone else? Yes, one more question.
Maybe you could share some experience about how to write ideal prompts to, for example, Midjourney.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, the thing is that it's very difficult to create your own prompts. But if you have the general idea, you go to ChatGPT and you say, you know, I have this idea, help me to write a perfect prompt, and that's how it is.
Really?
That's how it works.
Oh yeah, thank you for the tip.
Yeah, it works like a charm, definitely.
Cool.
It's like, that's what we do. It's like we create a perfect prompts with ChatGPT. Yeah, it's amazing.
Thank you for the tip, really.
No, I mean, I have many examples, not now, of course, but if you reach out to me, I can give you examples, definitely. Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome.
All right. Great. I guess then that's it. We have a nomination of the best question. So who would you choose?
All the questions were really good, but the one that made me think about myself 20 years ago was like first time in my life that I make that question. So that's a winner. I have a gift for you. I will give it to you afterwards, but I have that's my really good question. Yeah.
All right. Let's give it up for Jesus. Thank you very much. Thank you. Then we have to thank this beautiful venue provider, Workland, for having us here. And we have networking events till 9. So yeah, please don't run. We have plenty of time to chat. And yeah, follow us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, and yes, see you next time. And yeah, if you want to ask anything, just let us know. Anyone with the organizer tab, if you have any feedback, let us know. Thank you very much. Yeah, one more. It was follow us on Facebook and you will know. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Я забыл спикеров поздравить.